What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Combat and Kick It. You already know, it's your host, Bando. Let's get right into it. UFC 297 is this weekend. We finally got pay-per-views back. This is our first pay-per-view of 2024. It's Sean Strickland defending his UFC Middleweight Championship against Dricus Du Plessis. You know there's a little bit of beef there. There's a lot of build-up in this one. Let's talk about it. Let's get into the breakdown, into the predictions, all the bet odds, everything like that. Let's talk about it. Let's fucking go. So you know me. I always stick with the main cards. I always say it and I always do it. I stick with the main cards. But I wanted to give, a couple predictions off of the prelims because you got a couple good fights on the prelims. You got Jillian Robertson going up against Poliana Viana. I got Jillian Robertson. If you remember the last time the UFC had a big Canada event, if I remember correctly, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments and stuff like that. But if I remember correctly, Canada went for the full sweep. I remember Canada getting a full sweep. So I can see it happening again when they're in their hometown, when they got the backup from the crowd and everything like that. They fight better. They just fight better. So I'm going with Jillian Robertson in that one. Next fight, you got Sergey Side versus Ramon Tavares. I think Ramon Tavares, if I had to guess, is Brad Tavares, related to Brad Tavares, because he looks like Brad Tavares. But I don't know much about either dude. I really don't. I just know that the Sergey dude is only 10-1. So I'm going with him with my prediction. Then you got Charles Jourdain versus Sean Woodson. I fuck with Charles Jourdain. Not just the personality of him, but the way he fights stylistically. He is a fun fight. He is an exciting fight. You know this is going to be a striking matchup between two lengthy fighters. So I like it. I'm rocking with Charles Jourdain in this one, though. And then you move on to Brad Katona versus Garrett Armfield. I like that matchup as well. I think this is Brad Katona's second fight in the UFC, or second fight being signed with the UFC. He had the other fights with the Ultimate Fighter. If you remember, he was the Ultimate Fighter winner. I'm going with him. I'm going with Brad Katona. But that's just a quick little shout out to the prelims because I feel like I show no love to the prelims. I never do. I really never show any love to the prelims. So I gave a prelim prediction right there. So do with what you want with that. I didn't put the odds in that one. I didn't even look them up. But do with what you want with that. If you feel like you want to run with that in a little parlay, go ahead. Do your thing. If you want to run with something smart, though, out of those 5 fights or those 4 fights there, what I would say to go with is sometimes you want to bet with the obvious. Bet with things that you really, really feel will happen. And Jillian Robertson for a submission within the first 2 rounds is never something to go against. But Poliana Viana is a really good jiu-jitsu artist. But I can see Jillian Robertson submitting anybody on the ground. Any woman on the ground. I think she can truly submit if she gets in the right positions because her submission game is fabulous. Now, her stand-up is, it's there. It's decent. But her submissions are fantastic. So that's a good bet. I would say lock that one in. And maybe Charles Jourdain and Sean Woodson going the distance. That could be another one. But overall, I'm not going to spend too much time on the prelims. Let's get into this main card. Opening the main card, my boy Arnold Allen is back. I love to see it. One of the best featherweights in the world, in my opinion, is Arnold Allen. He is skilled in every aspect of the game, right? He's got good wrestling. He's got good striking. He's aggressive. He's strong. He's fast. He's everything. And he's exciting. He's explosive. He's got it all. He really does have it all. He's got the before Max Holloway was running with a really good win streak. But you run into Max Blessed Holloway and shit happens. Especially when you're in that 145-pound division, shit happens. But Arnold Allen is going up against Movsar Evloev. It's going to be a good fight. It's a good fight because stylistically it's a good fight. The only thing that I don't understand in this one is how the fuck is Arnold Allen coming in as an underdog? That makes zero sense to me. If you are basing this off of both of their last fights, right? Arnold Allen's last fight being Max Holloway. Yes, he lost. I get it. It happens. Shit happens. You lose against the best sometimes when you fight the best. Movsar Evloev went the distance with Diego Lopez in Diego Lopez's debut. Remember that, right? Now, we see Diego Lopez now becoming more of a star. He's much more of an exciting fighter. He's doing his thing, right? But still, this is supposed to be a top guy who lets somebody in their debut take him the distance. To me, that stands out all the time. That always stands out. Maybe Movsar got the finish, but I'm almost positive he took him the distance. And that's my thing. Like, all these people, like, the same thing with people hyping up Manal Cape. It's like, yo, got taken the distance. Yeah, like, you're getting taken the distance by fucking guys making their debut. I don't get it. I don't understand how you hype that up. That makes no sense. Right? I get it. 17-0. It is a phenomenal thing. I think Arnold Allen is going to take this boy down, though. I truly do. And I don't mean it in terms of he's going to shoot for a double leg and put him on his back, take him down. No, I think he is going to beat him in this fight. Truthfully, how are you going against Arnold Allen just because he lost against Max Holloway? That is baffling to me. Baffling, because he comes in as a minus 170. Or a plus 170, and Movsar Evloev comes in as a minus 200. I mean, yeah, they're close. They're kind of tight odds, but I just don't get that. I don't get that. Arnold Allen's been at the top of the division for a minute without getting his actual opportunity that people have felt that he should get. And Max Holloway was that that breakthrough point. If he would have got that, he definitely would have been in the title picture. But we'll see what happens. I'm rocking with Arnold Allen in that one, though. Real shit, if you think about it. Movsar's got the ground game. We understand this. He has a skilled ground game. But if you really look at it, man, the way that Arnold Allen fights, he's not easy to take down. He's not easy to take down. He gets back up. He's strong in his defense, and he's strong in his ground game, too. He's good up against the cage in the clinch. I just don't see. I don't know. That one got me. That one got me a bit. All right. Maybe I'm a little biased, but fuck it. It is what it is. I think Arnold Allen should totally be a favorite going into that fight. Moving on, you got Chris Curtis versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Now, like I said, Canada, the last time they had a big card, they went for the sweep. They got the sweep. Marc-Andre Barriault was part of that sweep. I think he can. If Canada starts off good, if they start off successful through the prelims, I think Marc-Andre Barriault can be the one to continue it. I think he's a very skilled fighter. I fuck with Chris Curtis, right? I would love to see both Chris Curtis and Sean Strickland win on Saturday night, right? But I think the style matchup for this one, it's pretty tough. Marc-Andre Barriault comes in as the taller fighter, the longer fighter, and in my opinion, he looks physically like the stronger fighter, right? To me, Chris Curtis don't look that big, right? He looks like a smaller middleweight, maybe a dude that could even make welterweight, but he is a powerful dude. Let's not forget that. He is a very, very powerful dude. Chris Curtis can crack. And if he does catch you, and he does tag you, and we have seen Marc-Andre Barriault get hit before. But here's the thing. He got hit against a guy like Eric Anders, right? And he took Eric Anders, and he was beating Eric Anders up in that fight, right? So stylistically, it's kind of close. I think Chris Curtis is a little bit lighter on his feet. He moves a little bit better, and he could take shots. He's not one that's easy to put out, right? But if Marc-Andre Barriault can mix the game up a little bit, work some ground position, work some nasty position, almost make it a boring fight, I could see him getting a decision win. But if he makes it a scrappy fight, I think that Chris Curtis could end up tagging him and getting it done. But when it comes to the bets and everything like that, I went with Arnold Allen. Now I'm going with Marc-Andre Barriault. Those are my two underdogs, because Marc-Andre's coming in at a plus 160. Chris Curtis is coming in at a minus 190 favorite. So I just think that he could etch him out in a decision at least. But you never know. You can't sleep on Chris Curtis. So it's good. That should be a good fight. Realistically, that should be an exciting fight, an explosive fight, and potentially fight of the night or fight, best fight on the main card type of thing. Who knows? I think that could be a very enjoyable fight. So make sure to tune into that one. Moving on, you got Neil Magny going up against Mike Malott. Again, we're rocking with the Canada. We're going full spread with the Canada on this one because one, I like the style of Mike May a lot. I like him. He's got a good evolved game. You know what I'm saying? And this is the fight that he comes in. He has to fully prove himself. You know, Neil Magny is the true definition of a gatekeeper, and we have put so much disrespect on that word gatekeeper. That's not a disrespectful term. That, you know, it's just a guy that's been there for a long time, right? He's been there for a long time, and he's just hold a stagnant position in the same spot, right? And it just is what it is. You know, you win one, you lose one, you win one, you lose one, you win one, you lose one. You go on a winning streak, you get close, you lose one. You know, it's one of those constant things where you're always in the picture of being in the top 10. So if you're going to be there and hold that position, then you're going to have to basically gatekeep. If a young man on the rise like Mike Maylot is coming up, who's a big favorite, he's a big eye on this card, right? Because he's probably one of the bigger prospects coming out of Canada. So you got him coming up. Of course, he's going to have to go against somebody to break him through to the top 10. And if he can't beat this man like Neil Magny, then he can't get through to the top 10. Then either he's not yet ready or he's simply not good enough. It's one of those things. Or Neil Magny just put his foot on the gas. And, you know, I don't think anybody expects Neil Magny to win this fight and start pushing himself back to a title picture. He plays the same position, right? He basically is a gatekeeper. So, you know, he's got records of the winningest welterweight of all time, I think. I think he still holds that, but, like, you know, he's lost a lot too. So it's one of those things where, like I said, he holds his position. But stylistically, when you talk about the fight, right, when you're actually looking at the fight and thinking who could win this one, I think Mike Maylot has more ways of victory. We've just seen so many young guys come up and find ways to beat Neil Magny, right? And I can see Mike Maylot doing similar things to what Ian Gary was doing, but actually getting the finish or taking him down and finishing him some way, somehow, getting a finish on Neil Magny, coming in to make a statement in his hometown. Now, Neil Magny is no slouch, but he's not on the early side of his career. He's not fresh. He's not in the prime, nothing like that. Like I said, Gatekeeper's been fighting young guys for a while now, right? And it's just one of those things where if he can come out and use his IQ, use veteran ability, and outlast Mike Maylot somehow, you know, do sort of a Cowboy versus Alex Hernandez type of thing, or yeah, Alex Hernandez, right? Alexander Hernandez, yeah, type of thing like that, where the veteran comes out and really just shows the dog in him and outdoes the young man. I think he can get the win, but I'm rocking with Mike Maylot in that. I mean, he's a minus 385 favorite. I think that's the biggest favorite on the main card. So I'm definitely rocking with Mike Maylot. And then moving on, you're getting into the co-main event. So that is time for the big dog breakdown. And this one isn't that big of a big dog breakdown because I'm going to be honest with you, right? Raquel Pennington and Mayra Bueno Silva, right? They both know it. We all know it. It's not the fight that anybody is really looking for. But you look at that division. All right, you look at that division and there's no other fight to even make. So I look at this as a really big opportunity for both women. Now, Raquel Pennington's been to the dance plenty of fucking times. She's been to the dance plenty of times or close to or around. You know, she's been in the top rank. She is almost like a gatekeeper of the division, and she's getting another opportunity to become champion with this vacant bantamweight championship. But Mayra Bueno Silva is a very fucking skilled fighter. It's one of those fights where Bueno Silva hasn't had enough fights, enough like big fights to build her name, right? And then you have Raquel Pennington, who we've seen a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that anybody hates these fighters or they're boring or anything like that. It's just, it's not an exciting fight because there wasn't enough to build from this, right? There's nothing built from this. It was just randomly thrown together. Nobody even expected it. Like, I understand Irene Aldana lost that fight against Amanda Nunes, but why couldn't you make Irina Aldana and Juliana Pena? For some reason, why couldn't you do the two top in the division? I just don't understand it, But I don't know. Rankings don't make sense all the time. We know this. But either way, this could be a really good fight. I like the attitude that Buena Silva's bringing into this. She's very confident. She's just confident in her ability. She's confident in her coaches and the way that her team, everything that they've done in training camp. She's got good jiu-jitsu, but she's also mean on the stand-up. Like, what was it? Who was that last fight? She was piecing her up on the feet. I think it was, I'm drawing a blank for no reason. Drawing a blank for absolutely no reason. I do this every time. Every single episode. Holly Holm. Yeah, she was beating up Holly Holm, right? Or no? What happened in that one? Draw overturn. What fight am I thinking of that she got a finish in? Maybe I'm tripping. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's not much to build off of this fight. Like, let's read the resume. She beat Lena Landsberg by submission. She beat Yanin Wu by decision. Stephanie Egger by round 1 submission. She lost to Mino Firo at flyweight. You see what I'm saying? There's literally nothing to build off of this. What is this draw overturn? Why do I not remember this? Was she piecing Holly Holm up, if I remember correctly, and something happened? Because it says round 2, 30, whatever. Her and Miesha Tate got canceled. She was piecing up Lena Landsberg and then got the submission in that fight. But realistically, look at that. There's nothing to build off of this. Nothing to build off of this. So, it has nothing to do with the girls themselves. It has everything to do with the UFC just throwing together a fight of two women who won their last fight in a division with a vacant championship, realistically. Like, that is, to be real, exactly what happened. They took two of the women in the division that had a vacant championship that just won their last fight and said, boom, let's throw them together. Not that impressive to me, But shout out to both women. Good luck to both women. And they got a chance to put on a show. They have to do something to kind of steal the show, right? They might not. It's tough when you're on a card with a guy like Sean Strickland, but they got to do something to steal the show a bit. At least put on a really good fight, an exciting fight, or one of them has to make a statement in this win to, start making their name a little bit more. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. Moving on, you got Sean Strickland going up against Dricus Du Plessis. And we know what's up. We know what's up. We know what's up. It's going to be a good-ass fight. Look, we never even expected this fight to even be a thing for the belt. Originally, it was supposed to be Israel Adesanya versus Dricus Du Plessis. And Dricus pulled out because whatever his ankle injury or whatever it was, Sean steps in. Sean beats Izzy for the belt. Sean becomes middleweight champion. We all know the story. Sean Strickland here versus Dricus Du Plessis. And what do you really do when you come down to the breakdown? Who's a better fighter? Who's the better striker? Who's the better ground guy? Who's going to get the win on Saturday night? And honestly, this whole entire build up, I was leaning Dricus. I gotta spark this one to explain why. I was leaning Dricus, and it had nothing to do with the stuff that went on, the fight, the build up, because this was kind of even before before everything happened. This was just when the fight was announced. I was like, yeah, I see stylistically Dricus because of how awkward he is, how weird he is, and he's big, man. He's big, he's strong, and what he did to Rob, no one expected him to do that to fucking Rob Whittaker, but he did. He did. So this whole time I'm kind of running with this thing that Dricus is gonna win this fight. This past week, I've been like, I don't know. Because if you really look at a lot of the videos that Sean Strickland posts sparring, right? He has so many different looks from so many different guys, right? He's sparring multiple different people a day, right? Multiple different rounds, multiple different people a day, non-stop, just sparring. So you look at it like, all right, Dricus is gonna bring an awkward style to him, but it's really not going. He's not gonna bring anything that Sean realistically has not seen before. Realistically, Sean, like I said, he faces so many styles. I think he can deal with anything, and people seem to forget that Sean doesn't get hit much. Sean's Philly shell. It's not fucking Floyd Mayweather, but it's a good Philly shell for MMA, and he does very well at keeping his chin protected. Besides against Alex Pereira, but you know he does well at keeping his chin protected, and people forget that he has a good ground game. So I'm thinking in my head like, all right, I can see Sean winning this fight. I see Sean having routes to this fight. I see Dricus having routes to finishing this fight. It's weird. I can see him finishing this fight. I can see him getting it done first, second round. But if this fight gets stretched past 3, I can see Sean kind of getting so comfortable where he just starts piecing Dricus up, right? I just got to see what happens in this first round. I really got to see who shows up in the first round because it's weird. Sean against Izzy was patient. He was very patient because he knew he was going up against one of the best strikers in the world. So he was very patient. He was smart with his striking. He was trying to pick his shots. Now, I don't know if he's going to try to pick his shots against Dricus or if he's going to go up against Dricus and try to take his head off in the first round. But Dricus is quick. He's quick. He comes off real fast in the first round and in the second round. He's explosive. So Sean's got to be smart. I think if Sean does pick his shots, right, paces himself, let Dricus gas himself out a bit, right? Drag him into those later rounds. Drag him into deep water if you can. I think Sean's ground game is a lot better than people think, so I don't see Dricus having that much success in that realm like people think he will. I think Sean's got a great chance, so I'm leaning with Sean Strickland. So, and still, hashtag and still. So Bando's 5-leg parlay for the main card. You're looking at Arnold Allen, Marc-Andre Barriault, Mike Malott, Myra Bueno Silva, and Sean Strickland, and that comes out to a plus 2,385. You know what that means? Try to make some money this weekend. You put $10 down, you win $238.49. You put $100 down, you win $2,384.95. You put $1,000 down, because I know some of you are some big spenders. Not me, but I know some of you are. You could win $23,849.49, because that 49 cents matters. So just listen, hear me out. If you're one of those big spenders and you do put $1,000 down on this, and you win that $23,000, okay, and you place this bet because you watched this video.
Business bad? Fuck you, pay me. Oh, you had a fire? Fuck you, pay me. Place got hit by lightning, huh? Fuck you, pay me.
Run me my money. I would like that. I would like that money. Yeah. I should get a cut. That'd be a fair cut. That would be a nice cut. So think about your boy. But either way, you already know. like I said, UFC 297 is this weekend. Your boy had to come through with the breakdown, the predictions, the odds, all that kind of bet stuff, of course, because that's what I do. So if you like these episodes, if you enjoy, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification button so you know when the next episode is out, because you get episodes weekly. It's not one episode, it's multiple episodes weekly. I promise you. Weekly, all through 2024, all about fight stuff. So stay tuned, and I will catch you on the next episode. Your boy is out. Peace.